NTA, Channel 12, Uyo. Your dependent.
Hello there, good evening. I'm glad you joined us on this week's edition of Hilltop Mansion, where we review major activities of the Akwa Ibom State government. My name is Clement Barakui. Thank you for joining us.
Have you ever missed out on any events or activities of the governor? Worry no more. Hilltop Mansion got you covered. Hilltop Mansion is a program of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Uyo, specifically designed to showcase the day-to-day activities of the Arise agenda.
Tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
on Star Times, Channel 103, and our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube to join us. Hilltop Mansion, showcasing the Arise agenda.
The first event we have for you on this edition of the program has to do with the project delivery meeting for the month of July. Shortly after the meeting, Governor Umueno led some State Executive Council members and stakeholders on project inspection within the state capital. The monthly project delivery meeting reviewed progress on strategic projects across agriculture, healthcare, housing, transportation, tourism, and security. Governor Umueno described the monthly delivery meeting as an important accountability platform for assessing performance, resolving implementation challenges, and ensuring value for public funds.
I believe absolutely that these hotels must make profit. We have not made one dime since we started all of these hotels, whether it is 4 Point or it is the golf resort. Government keeps funding as a budgetary item. And I've always asked myself, if one person were to have this hotel or build it, wouldn't we make profit? So we've done a lot of things, and with the 4 Point by Sheraton, the story is completely a mess, but I believe we should be able to wrap up at this point so that we take over full management, and we'll still retain the name. We are working a different arrangement where we just have the branding for international status. We've done over 1,300 kilometers of roads, and we'll be looking at this with 40 bridges. We'll see where they are. We are doing something in Lagos, and they've come off the ground. In the villages, if you have been looking at this board, there's no local government we have not touched. Again, depends. You may not be able to be very accurate with everybody, but I believe, and I stand to be corrected, more than any government that has ever been in this state, this government has touched every local government. And, so whether it's at the same rate, I don't know. Votes are not even at the same rate. So, but we are doing well. We have built over 450 compassionate homes, and we are on target. We are on track to hit our 500 homes across. There's no ward in this local government that we don't have a compassionate home. And to us, it might just be a home, but you see, there's solar light, there's water. It serves that community. Some community now use the place to gather in the evening to do folklore, folk stories. Some charge their phones, some do all of that. So there's a little bit of life within that neighborhood. We also give the owners of those houses some token 500,000 to start a trade. I've watched this project put real life back into people that were hopeless, completely hopeless. And by the way, that project is my legacy project. That is the project after my heart. It's not so much of the big things we're doing, it's how much these little people, each time you donate a house to somebody, ordinarily you watch the person just come back to life. You see the joy, the smile. It gives you so much peace. Recently, we have some little issues on the Bombdipsi port. We are not going to discuss that here. We believe that we are working behind the scene, and very soon we'll come up with one voice, at least one big voice.
Projects reviewed include the Ibom International Hospital, the International Market in Ikarekpene, the Oron Maritime Infrastructure Project, the Ibom International Hotel, chairmen's lodges across the 31 local government areas, youth development centers, and the House of Assembly complex. Day 1 of the meeting featured inspection of the 20 out of the 50 newly purchased CNG buses.
I want to commend His Excellency the Governor and members of his team for yet another very innovative and people-centric program that he's executed. We just inspected the CNG bus, one of the CNG buses that has been introduced into the state by the governor. About 50 of them have already come in this first phase to make public transportation easy and affordable for the citizens of the state. So this is a very, very welcome initiative. We commend His Excellency, we commend the government for looking after the interests of the citizens of the state. We all know that gas is the way forward. And for the government of the state to key into this initiative is something that's very worthwhile and very commendable. So yes, we're very pleased to be part of this revolution going on in the state, and we thank God for giving us Governor Umoino.
I think Akwa Ibom State is leading the way, and I must commend His Excellency Governor Umoino for this bold initiative. There was a discussion around how governments could provide palliatives to help reduce the impact of the removal of fuel subsidy, which affected transport fares and prices of commodities, goods, food, and all that. So this initiative, which even the federal government had thought about, it's been on paper. As I know, this is one government that has implemented the initiative, what was discussed at the time. This certainly would impact on the lives of the citizens of Akwa Ibom State, because this affects the generality of the people of Akwa Ibom State. Would affect expenditure on transportation, transport fares, would provide comfort, would also ensure that people can move freely within the local governments. And Akwa Ibom indeed is ready for this initiative because of our good road network. And again, we must commend the governor for this very bold step. The people are happy, and we just inspected the buses, the standard brand new buses, and in line with global practice of moving to CNG powered buses. Akwa Ibom again is leading the way in that regard. So it's a happy day for the people of Akwa Ibom State.
Well, as far as we are concerned, we are very happy with what the governor has done, and understand this is the first batch for a long number of buses that are coming, and I'm happy that he has keyed into this initiative in the interest of our people, because we have good network of roads within Akwa Ibom State. There is no part of Akwa Ibom you cannot reach within an hour. So having these CMG buses will help to transport our people from Ikorobasi to Uyo, from Oron to Uyo, from Ikoregbene, Borokara to Uyo, from Surubium, of course, to Uyo. And it's a good thing to do. And it takes a visionary leader to key into this kind of initiative to help alleviate the burden of transportation of our people to and fro their locations to the state capital. I'm happy, very, very excited that it has come at this time, and I believe that our people are, when I read that some people made comments that these buses are refurbished, they are old ones brought in to the state by the governor. I think that is one of these kind of blackmails you can see, you can read in the papers and media platforms. It's not true. As I see it, all of us here have gone to inspect it. It's with charges. It's a new, brand new buses, nothing refurbished, not old ones, as we can see. So I believe that the governor is doing the right thing, and we should support him.
When I look at those high-rise buildings and many other buildings, I say, wow. So do we have this in the state? And some of us don't know. Your Excellency, like I said when we were having our break, I said, give us time, just create a little opportunity for us, for the traditional institution, to go around and visit those sites. So that will help to at least pass the message to the people that Umoino is working. Yes. Because for some of us, the doubting Thomases who will say, me. I also want to use the opportunity, very specially, Your Excellency, that we call on the Commissioner for Information to please let the information of what the government is doing in the state go around in our different dialects. Ibibio, Anangye, Oron, let people know what is happening. Tell them, Semikon Bagara, Semikon Gangen. Nam ya idea on Sikaiso Kesteremi. It's very important. The other aspect is that, Your Excellency, all these projects you are developing in the state, at the end of the day, a fanciful thing. It is something that would develop the state, the more great opportunity. And then, so we really have, I personally say, whoever is given a responsibility and you to be involved in all these projects, to please build, construct a project that would stand the test of time. It is very important, because when I was listening to some of the presentation, there's one particular thing that came into my mind. I said, I've not heard, apart from what is the model, what model are we using today in firefighting in today's system? Because you cannot raise a high-rise building without considering that aspect of preventing it in case of fire and the rest of the things. We must do those things.
At the close of the second day's session, the governor made an unscheduled inspection of the Arise Palm Resort and the Ibom International Hotel to personally verify the progress of work on the tourism project, which are expected to be inaugurated later this year.
Well, what has been happening, we've been reviewing all the projects in the state. You know, we have about 85 ongoing projects, not roads, that's beside roads. So the review meeting have fought all the contractors, all the project advisors, members of the Executive Council, critical stakeholders to just sit and review these projects. That's what we've been doing in the last 2 days. And so we had a presentation today on the International Hotel, Ibom International Hotel. And what his delivery timeline seems to be too good to be true. So we said, let's come on site. And I wanted our critical stakeholders to also see the work that has been done. You remember this hotel is one of the projects that was, I don't want to say abandoned, I don't like using the word abandoned, that we had to resuscitate. And so it's just good to know that from the contractor's point of view, he believes he can hand over in 3 months. So we're excited and curious. Let's see what you've done. So that's why we're here. And I think from what I've seen, I believe him, since he's the one dreaming. You don't, when you are a blind man, you don't argue. I mean, when you have your eyes open, you don't argue with a blind man if he says he's dreaming in the afternoon, but his eyes is always closed. So basically, he's the one constructing. If he tells you he's delivering in 3 months, I have no reason to doubt him, but I was just curious to come here.
Your Excellency, between when you first arrived here and having to walk through this hallways this evening, what critically stands out for you on this project?
Akwa Ibom is rising. We're fixing, we're putting our infrastructures together, and we're boosting tourism. You can see, you were here about 8 months ago, and you know how this place used to be, practically abandoned. Life has returned here. I think he employs over, from what we reviewed today, about 300 and something staff, and that's here alone. Then the International Convention Center, then the Arise Shopping Mall, then the roads we are doing. You can imagine the number of human beings, mostly Akwa Ibomites, that have been employed on these grounds. So it's cheering news.
Governor Eno said his administration was entering its harvest season and reaffirmed its commitment to completing all ongoing projects within schedule to improve the lives of the people of the states. Also within the period under review, Governor Umweno played host to the head of the Civil Service of the Federation and 33 federal permanent secretaries who were in the state for a 2-day retreat. Addressing the federal permanent secretaries, Governor Umweno said the government has digitalized recruitment, procurement, and gratuity payment in the state as part of effort to strengthen its procurement process. He urged permanent secretaries at both the federal and state levels to strengthen collaboration to attract more development opportunities and improve service delivery for Nigerians.
Here in Akwa Ibom, one of the early things we did was to strengthen our public procurement law and to ensure that we scrutinize our public procurement policies and then make sure that we save the government funds. We've established in my office a team that works with the public procurement of the state to ensure that we vet and we look at all our bids and match it against our in-house estimates. And that in itself, in the last 3 years, has saved us over 200 billion naira.
Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Wilson Jack, disclosed that 33 federal permanent secretaries are attending the 4-day procurement retreat in Uyo to strengthen accountability and shift the public service from activity to result through the performance management system and digitalization. She commended the Akwa Ibom State government for its commitment to clearing inherited gratuities and pensions, recruiting personnel, strengthening human capacity, and embracing digital governance.
Nigeria cannot have a strong civil service except the federal, state, and local government public services work in alignment. Indeed, citizens do not distinguish between federal, state, and local government when they seek public services. When any public institution